I love Indianapolis so much that I spent an extra 3 hours in the airport. Hey everybody, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona with a review of the Indianapolis State Show, the first time that this has happened in a couple of years, and it has been taken over by Matt Dinger at Lost Dutchman. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about the show, about Indianapolis. First of all, this is my first time in Indianapolis, and it's very interesting. I really enjoy traveling to different regions of the country and seeing the different just types of places. Indianapolis, I was a little surprised by. I don't know what I was expecting, really. Of course, I don't get to see the city much, and the show is in November, and we had some foggy days, and it looked like a Thomas Kincaid, puzzle, poster, painting when you looked out the window. But in the 10-minute window from the airport to the facility, it just looked nice, but also it's the people, right? So you go, you meet people, and you get an impression of what the city's like. So what was fascinating to me about Indianapolis is that when I think of Arizona, I think of a place. Like Arizona is its own thing. You go, the land is beautiful, there's history that's rich, and it's about the land. Indianapolis is about the people. You go there and they are Hoosiers. Now, don't get them talking about college sports or high school sports, but if you want to talk about the Colts, okay, now we're all brethren here, right? And so I was kind of fascinated. Of course, very nice Midwestern folk, as described. And thank you for the dozens of you that came up and said hi to me. I thoroughly appreciate it. To everyone who came up and said hi while I was at the show. The Indianapolis airport, first time I've been there, this was an interesting cross between the Amarillo airport, which may be a weird kind of comparison, and maybe something like a Denver airport. It's like in between. It's a much larger airport than like Tucson or Amarillo, much smaller than like a Denver or Chicago, but it's clean. It has really nice vibe to it. And also, I had the best corn bisque I've had in my life. At I think it's St. Elmo's Fire is in the airport. The airport food was really good. Really, I haven't talked about food much. This is the first time I've had something that I tasted that I was like, I need to tell people about this because it was so good. So the airport was nice. The facility is great. It's in Plainfield. It's a 10-minute drive from the airport. And at a Embassy Suites, that's about a 5 or 6 year old facility. It has event centers. The room we were in was about 18,000 square feet or so is what I would guess, maybe-ish. They had a whole other event center in there that you could go into, and it was really a nice setup all around. I enjoyed the facilities quite a bit. All right, so Indiana, what else we got going on here? Indiana. All right. So Indianapolis seems to have a lot more going on than I think people outside of the Midwest would think. They've got agriculture, industry, oil, technology, and a sense of like we're all kind of one person. So I don't think Illinois is like that. But if you go to Chicago, it's like, yeah, we're Chicagoans, right? So in Indiana, everyone's a Hoosier. So it definitely has its own vibe. People came from 2, 3, 4 hours away to the show. The first and foremost, the show, hats off to Matt Dinger and his crew and everyone who helped run the show. I'm pretty sure that they had 1,400 people come through that door in 2 days with a show that had 150 tables that were not all full, mind you. The back half of the room, there were some empty tables, but that's okay. He had over 100 tables filled with dealers. There were some mistakes I made. I didn't come in early, so there's a dealer day on Thursday, then the show is Friday, Saturday, which is, I think, the ideal setup for a show, especially a show that size. Next year, God willing, the timing works out again, I'm going to go back and come on in and come in a day early at least so I can get to the dealer setup, because the biggest drawback for me was I didn't have a lot of shopping time because I had an hour to get open on Friday morning, and when the doors opened, we were just busy for 4 or 5 hours straight. Same thing on Saturday. Usually the first day of the show is busier, which it was, but also the second day of the show was seemingly just as busy. One of the nice things that I got to do there is I had a live stream with Matt from Lost Dutchman. Also has the Coin Show podcast. He has a huge Facebook group. And then T, the Silver Stacker, who, for those of you who saw the live stream, you're like, who's this goofball? If you haven't met T, he's just a sweetheart of a guy. His channel, he does a lot of coin shop interviews. So, if you like that type of thing, go check him out. My favorite thing that he does is silver pours. So it's wonderful ASMR. If you've never seen someone with a, pouring silver, like burning it down and pouring it, it's really fascinating. It's fun to watch, and just a super nice guy. So we got to do that. Also, I got to interview Jack Young. I have an interview with him coming down. He's the counterfeit detection specialist. And then also I did a close-up where we got to look at some coins. So that's 2 separate videos. And of course, after this video, I will have new purchases from the show, which hopefully, if the timing is correct, will air tomorrow. And you'll get to see a bunch of new purchases from the show. The show is very busy. I didn't bring enough swag. Like, of course, our #1 seller, our pens were going quick, but our bags that we have, they were selling really well, and I didn't bring enough. I actually sold out of those, which was great. In general, the market, I think, is just very good for coins and coin collecting. The thing that stood out to me was the number of people that came up and said, hey, this is my first show in 5 years. This is my first show ever. And the other people who came up and said, hey, I'm a silver stacker, or I was, and now I'm starting to buy coins, which once again, I think silver is a gateway drug to coin collecting. I think it's fantastic. So wonderful to meet all you guys down there who told me those things. There's just so many great people to meet and talk to. So a lot of people still buying silver or gold, but now they're also just like, hey, there's history here, and they get into the history and take a closer look at things. So lots of business was done. I was busier. I did more retail on Saturday than on Friday. Even though Friday, usually you have your quote-unquote serious buyers coming in, there's still a lot of people who, they're going to come on Saturday and they're still going to find stuff. I still have this theory that that you can always find something in a coin show, especially when that size. And even if it's like the end of the show, back half of the show, the theory that I'm going to miss out, I find to be not a true theory. Now, I understand what people are saying, because you can feel like, oh, I could have bought that deal, or I could have bought that coin, someone else beat me to it. But there's still, at the end of the show, millions of coins in that room that are for sale that are pretty sweet. A little bit of everything was in there. So, all right, what else do we see here? Oh, did I mention I missed my I missed my flight home? This is like one of the most embarrassing things that's happened to me in travel. I was literally in the terminal an hour before my flight, and I got my times mixed up. And I was listening for them to say Dallas because my flight was going through Dallas, and I kept hearing Austin. I was listening, and I wasn't listening for them to call my name, but they didn't. Apparently, maybe they did call my name. I never heard it. But there's a whole bunch of at the end terminal. There's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different gates that you can go out, and I was down there with all of them. And I thought my flight was leaving at 6:20 and boarding at 5:45, and I'm looking, and it was actually boarding at 45 and leaving at 20. And so with like at 40, I go up there and the doors are closed, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh. So I was actually very lucky that I was able to get home still the same. I didn't have to sleep in the Indianapolis airport. They were able to get me on a different flight and still get me to Tucson. It was late, but that's okay. That's all right. All right. What else was going on there? So some things that they did there that was a little bit different. They had everyone show ID who was over 18 to come in the door and just write their name on a name tag. I'll probably start instituting this. I find this to be something that's a useful endeavor. I don't know that I need to put their last name on there, but I think generally speaking, people who are coming there for the wrong reasons don't want to give you their ID. And I just think that's a safety precaution for everybody that we can get along with and do. Just a thought. The show was busy for 2 full days. We sold a little bit of everything. I had people doing currency, people looking at ancients. The U.S. market, of course, there is very strong. You have a lot of traditional collectors there, people who have inherited collections, people who've been collecting with their parents or grandparents. So it's got a really nice vibe that way, where you get to see a lot of very traditional U.S. collectors. Next year, maybe I'll try to bring a little bit more Mexican with me. I did have a number of people come up and like they were looking for all my Mexican stuff, and I really didn't have much with me. So, but the people were definitely asking. They're like, "Hey, where's all this border stuff, buddy? come on. I said, oh, Canadian, eh? And they were like, no, we want like your border, not our border. I was like, okay, I got you. So anyway, thanks to everyone who said hi. It was a great show. I hope to be there next year. Highly recommended if you can get to that show, if you are in that area. And also, once again, I don't know geography like I think I do. But when I looked on a map later, I was like, oh, I'm west of Chicago. Pretty sure I would have drawn that backwards if I had actually been asked to draw a map. So, loving the Midwest. Just signed up for Central States I think that's the end of April-ish. So that's in that Schaumburg, Chicago area. We'll definitely be doing that show. And I was invited, of course, to other shows, not me personally, but it was just like, hey, we got a show in Cincinnati coming up. We got this other show and this other show. That's what happens at shows. You have people handing out flyers for other shows, which is good. And hopefully I'll get back there next year. And hopefully in January, none of this is confirmed, but I'm hoping that the guys I did the live stream, both Matt and T, can make it to the Tucson show in January. They've still got to figure out travel schedules and make sure that things aren't too, aren't too busy, because they're always busy, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment, and look forward to showing you the videos that I took while I was there, and also look forward to showing you some new purchases mañana. All right. Take care.